Last time on What If Goku Was in the Avatar World. Zuko was received by his father, who congratulated him after he restored his honor. Fire Lord Ozai told Azula and Zuko that they would have to train in order to help Ozai's cause. Sokka was trained by Swordsmaster Piandao and became a better fighter. Combustion Man was beaten into a pulp by our heroes, and Katara learned the strongest waterbending technique, bloodbending. They would still find Azula and the Dai Li, and at the same time nobody would be imprisoned, as the invasion was technically a success. But the main target, the Fire Lord, wasn't there. Azula was beaten and had a lot to think about. What happens next? Find out in this part of What If Goku Was in the Avatar World. What if Goku was in the Avatar World? Zuko found out what happened to his mother, and he redirected the lightning from Ozai back to him. Iroh also escaped, and Zuko tried to follow Team Avatar in order to join him, which he eventually did. This was very good for Aang, as he would now be able to have someone else to teach him firebending, and for Goku this would also be excellent, as he could train with someone else. Goku especially was the first one to open up to Zuko, because Goku is in general an all-forgiving character, and I don't see that changing in a different world such as the one of the Avatar. And he also saw anyway some potential in Zuko as a potential sparring partner, as well as the same thing that he would see in Zuko's sister. Without the imprisonment and Azula's change, much of the end of the Avatar The Last Airbender would change, except for the fact that Aang and Zuko would learn firebending from the source, the dragons themselves. Zuko suggested that Goku should also learn it, since he was a firebender after all, but Sokka and Katara especially argued how this was not the case. Goku then said that he would join them and try to do it in his own way. Goku was still sure that he was not a firebender. Zuko told Goku that his father, the Fire Lord, was preparing not only for the Avatar but also to fight him, Goku, and he was considered a traitor to the Fire Nation. Eventually Zuko would confirm that Ozai wanted to burn the whole Earth Kingdom into ashes during Zozin's comet, and Goku said that they would confront the Fire Lord during the comet. "Are you insane?" said Sokka. Goku smirked, and he said that together with Aang they got it in the back, only to be interrupted by Aang. "Goku, no, it's my fight, it's my duty, I'm the Avatar. I have to do it on my own." "But Aang, this Fire Lord guy, he will be super strong, and oh boy, am I excited to fight a really strong opponent. Please let me join." "Fine Goku, but you will only join when I require your help." "Yay! Awesome!" With the involving changes, Katara will only warm up slowly to Zuko, but she won't take out alive of Fire Nation soldiers, as Team Avatar would never go to the prison. Most of the plans would remain unchanged on the insistence of Aang and Goku that it would be Aang who would face the Fire Lord. Zuko asked Aang if he would kill Ozai, to which Aang would not give an answer. Goku would then chime in and say if Zuko changed, then why not Ozai? And somehow the discussion would then die out, as Zuko would be too embarrassed about his past, and Katara may make some nasty remarks. Zuko finally reunites with Iroh, who expresses his joy that Zuko rediscovered his true path on his own. The team decides to split up to stall the Fire Nation's plans. Zuko and Katara will face Azula at the Royal Palace. Sokka, Suki and Toph will attempt to stop the airship fleet bound for the Earth Kingdom, and Iroh is to lead the White Lotus in the liberation of Ba Sing Se. Aang would still meet the giant lion turtle, who would still pass him the basics of energy bending. And being a longer time with Guru Pathik, it would make click in the head of Aang. Not only would the benders be able to use energy, but also non-benders. Thus, Goku must be a non-bender who somehow broke this illusion of separation and who uses another form of energy bending. But before exchanging this information with Goku, Aang and Goku would go and face the Fire Lord, who declared himself as Phoenix King. He would start his campaign of burning down the Earth Kingdom, and Aang would then show up and both would have an epic fight. Ozai was however prepared and much stronger than in the series. Haha, you're nothing against me, Avatar, and where's your friend, the traitor of the Fire Nation? He's not from the Fire Nation. A huge air blow would be shot by Aang, but the new Phoenix King would laugh at this attempt. So since comets and his training made him almost as strong, if not a bit stronger than a young King Piccolo, he was able to destroy whole places with the blink of an eye. His fire was very strong and melted rocks that became lava. Aang had to be careful, and he knew that he had to at least handicap Ozai somehow. Ozai was merciless, offensive but arrogant in his capacities. But his mental state was very good. He was focused, composed, and he knew what his goal was. Aang didn't activate his avatar state yet. Water wasn't there, and he couldn't break from his usually defensive fighting style. He wasn't really enjoying this fight. But then he thought of Goku, a non-bender who enjoyed fights and who will still show mercy. Aang needed to have a moment for himself, a moment where he could get some focus, get calm, and remember everything about his chakra. Only like this, he would be able to transform into a controlled avatar state. Aang threw a few rocks and tried to capture Ozai in them, but every time he tried to do so, Ozai just burned his rocks down. Aang would also try to blow Ozai away, but that didn't work neither. He would protect himself in a huge layer of rocks and hide for some time. Goku was afraid, but he felt that Aang's ki got more calm, and he knew that Aang was preparing to enter the avatar state. Ozai tried to desperately burn more and more rocks down until Aang appeared in his avatar state. He blew Ozai far away and formed several rocks and speeded them up immensely within the air, damaging Ozai in a critical way. Aang then continued and delivered a punch in Ozai's guts, accelerated by the air. Remember, Aang in his avatar state is not the pacifist that he usually is. Ozai fell to his knees, and Aang, while in his avatar state, told him that he still had the option to stop all of this. Ozai didn't move, but instead he heated the soil and focused his energy in there. Aang tried to talk again to Ozai, and Ozai used a surprise move, similar as Azula's flame kicks, but more efficient of course. Aang flew meters away and left his guard down. Ozai speeded up and tried to load a huge fireball to finish Aang off. Aang waited there and used the same technique that Iroh knew, only to redirect the fireball at Ozai, because at the end every type of energy was only separated by the illusion. Ozai was surprised and took a full hit of his own attack. Aang thought that he killed Ozai and got back to normal. Goku rushed at Aang and warned him that Ozai's ki could still be felt. Aang, no, be careful, it is not over. But Aang still thought that he killed Ozai, and he was mad at himself when he saw himself as a failure and a disgrace to the air nomads. Ozai took advantage of it and hit Aang with lightning. Aang fell to the floor, and Aang's ki got very weak. Ah, there you are, the traitor to the Fire Nation. Do you want to come and die with the Avatar? Ha ha ha! My world has no place for traitors like you. Flames came out from Ozai's hands, and Goku had to use his own ki attacks to block them away. I am not a traitor. I promised Aang that if he needed me, I would have his back. Here I am, Ozai. You will pay for all the terror you've been doing. Ozai saw Aang's body on the floor, and it got him an idea. You are sure of that? Whoom! And an explosion could be heard. Goku got angry and sad because Ozai directed that attack towards Aang's body, and it wasn't there anymore. Goku got the same sensation when his mother died, and suddenly a golden aura engulfed him. Ozai just stood there and was perplexed by what he saw. Goku was mad, and he thought that he lost Aang forever, and perhaps that even the Avatar state and all of it that was related to it would be lost, and that the world had no more hope, that it would be in his hands to do something to bring at least peace to this world, even if it meant that Aang would be lost forever, and thus also the Avatar. Remember that in here we don't have any Dragon Balls. We cannot just revive people easily, and this would really make Goku mad and sad, and these emotions and this pureness that he would feel, this would be the kick to give him the Super Saiyan state. I won't let you go away with this. Goku looked at Ozai and fired a mouth beam at him, which Ozai could still escape from. Ozai fired again on lightning, and Goku this time tried to imitate it and used a similar move, but powered up by his ki. And I tell you that with all this rage that he built up, the power of a Super Saiyan and the direness of the situation, Goku's ki lightning hit Ozai and the fight was over immediately. Well, Ozai didn't die, but he was critically damaged, and he had no chance against Goku in his Super Saiyan form. Leave this place and never come back, Ozai. Ozai was in pain and barely holding himself alive. He was bleeding, he had multiple bones broken, and a part of his arm was gone too. He also got many scars. He stood up and tried to leave. Goku was watching Ozai escaping and felt no more danger coming from him, while he suddenly felt a familiar ki. He went and saw Aang, who was still alive. Aang! Aang, you are alive. Aang opened his eyes and woke up. He was wondering what just happened and saw Goku in his Super Saiyan form, but, well, Goku too, he fell to the floor, and both were exhausted, but they won the fight. What will happen next? Will Ozai return, turn good, or just die from an old age, never to be seen again? Will Goku be able to keep the Super Saiyan form? And what about the next threats for Team Avatar? And that's where we leave it for now.